This election season, we've been working for you to separate fact from fiction on all things election related.
CBS 8's Shannon Handy has some details in this Verify report.
Rumors swirl every election cycle. We've heard from viewers wanting to know what's true and what's not. Our Verify team has done a lot of reports on this. We've compiled some of them to keep you informed. Let's start with absentee ballots. According to vote.org, one claim it hears often is that absentee ballots are only counted in tight races. Let's verify using these sources. Election officials are required to count every ballot regardless of whether you vote in person or absentee. Some of the misconceptions stem from when races are called early. This happens when it's not mathematically possible for a candidate to win. But every ballot is still counted for the final tally, even if you already know the result. So no, absentee ballots are not only counted in close races. What about filling out those ballots? Can you use a Sharpie? Posts on social media have warned against using them, claiming they could bleed through and invalidate your vote. Let's verify. Can you use a Sharpie to fill out your ballot? Using these sources, we can verify, yes, you can use a Sharpie to fill out a ballot. Can you take a picture of your ballot? A viewer sent our Verify team this email asking, is it legal to post a photo of your completed ballot? Our sources are the National Conference of State Legislatures and various state election laws. Each state runs their own elections. Some states ban posting pictures of ballots. Other states allow it, but not in or near a polling place. In California, it's okay to post a picture of your ballot, all while taking that picture inside a polling place. So we can verify rules for taking pictures of your ballot vary by state. What about candidate signs? Is removing a political sign from someone's yard a crime? Our sources, the U.S. Code of Laws and various state laws. There's no federal law against stealing campaign signs, but there are laws in all 50 states that make it illegal in most cases to take them from private properties. So yes, it is a crime to steal a campaign sign from private property. Right now, you're seeing candidates all over your TV screen. A lot of you wanted to know, are candidates allowed equal amounts of ad time? Let's verify. Our sources are the FCC and the Communications Act of 1934. According to the Communications Act of 1934, if a candidate appears for more than 4 seconds on a TV station's air, that station, quote, shall afford equal opportunities to all such candidates for that office. News interviews and coverage don't count, but entertainment content does. Also, notice the Communications Act says equal opportunities, not equal time. So if a candidate buys an ad for $1,000, the station has to give their opponent the option to buy an ad for the same price at the same time. And it only applies to broadcast TV or radio. So we can verify no, political candidates are not guaranteed equal amounts of ad time. Another question we looked into has to do with political ads. Are they required to be factual in order to be aired on broadcast television? Our sources are the Federal Communications Commission and the Federal Trade Commission. We found ads are regulated by the FCC, which applies just 2 rules. All candidates must have the same opportunity to buy commercial time on stations, and politicians can say whatever they want. Accuracy is not one of the rules. So we can verify no, political ads are not required to be factual in order to air on broadcast television. Now let's talk gas prices. Social media posts like this one claim they go down before elections to give the party in power a boost. Let's verify. Do gas prices always go down before elections? Our Verify team looked at historical data from these sources: the U.S. Energy Information Administration and Bureau of Labor Statistics. We also spoke with Ed Hers, Energy Fellow at the University of Houston. The U.S. Energy Information Administration keeps historical data on gas prices each week going back to 1993. We narrowed in on the 2 months leading up to general elections. Of the 14 election seasons we analyzed from 1994 to 2020, prices decreased in 8 of them. The other 6 saw price increases for gasoline. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics also keeps monthly data on historic gas prices dating back to 1976. We looked at data in the months of September, October, and November. Of those periods in the 23 election years, gas prices decreased in 15 and increased in 8. Energy economists at Hers told Verify prices can sometimes dip in the fall, in part because that's when stations transition away from more expensive, smog-resistant formulations that are needed only in the summer.
Second, there's less demand in the wintertime.
He says a number of other factors are at play for a decline in prices. So we can verify no, gas prices do not always go down before elections. Finally, time for a fast fact about the personal information you provide on your voter registration. Some or all of that information, including which elections you voted in, typically becomes public record. In some states, that information is heavily redacted or only available to certain people. In California, political parties, candidates, and proponents of a ballot measure can request a portion of that data for a fee. With this Verify report, I'm Shanna Handy.